Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about astrology and intuition. I'm going to talk about, at least in my opinion, what are some strong indicators of this. And keep in mind, people, that intuition indicators or ability to be intuitive, there's no guarantee of that, I don't believe, through astrology. And just because somebody has a lot of indicators for this doesn't necessarily mean they are, but I think it does increase the propensity for this and have a better chance of this. And just like if nobody, according to their chart, has no intuitive indicators, that doesn't mean that they're not going to have any ability for this. So anyway, first thing is, I think the obvious thing I'll look at, the planet Neptune. Neptune can be, I look at this as, I guess you could say, if you have Neptune making, for example, conjunction to your ascendant in the first house, if you have Neptune making conjunctions to your personal, one or more personal planets in your natal chart, I think that's a strong indicator for this possibly. Even Neptune in the third house could be a possibility too, because the third house is communication, but it has to do with thinking as well. If somebody has a preponderance of water planets, major influences in water, including planets and the ascendant and MC, if you have a strong majority in water, this could also be an indicator. Even somebody that has no planets in water, let's say if you have compensation by house position, let's say that you have a strong amount of planets in the water houses, which are the 12th, 4th, and 8th. I think this could give some ability. If Neptune makes a lot of good aspects, this could be another thing to look at. I think Mercury in the water signs can be intuitive, and even let's say you just have like one indicator, right? Now, in my videos when I say this, never isolate any particular element in the chart. Well, in this example, I'm not isolating anything, but let's say that somebody only has one indicator in their chart, and let's say it was their ascendant and somebody had a Pisces rising, but they had no planets in water and Neptune didn't make any good aspects and they didn't have any other planets in their, I guess you could say, the water houses. Well, the person with Pisces rising may still be mediumistic to some degree and intuitive. This could still, even if it's just that one thing, it still could be a fairly strong indicator. It just depends on what that indicator is, even if it's just one indicator. Or Mercury in a water sign could be something to really look at, which could be fairly strong, even if it is just that one indicator. Now, some people think that maybe Uranus could be connected with some kind of psychic or intuitive ability. I think Neptune, at least in my opinion, figures more prominently than Uranus, but one can make an argument for it. And the moon is connected with our subconscious, so a positively aspected moon makes predominantly good aspects. Moon in a water house or water sign can be indicator. And I look at this, and when I say intuitive indicators in a natal chart, as far as the house which strongly correlates with this, I think that would be the 12th house, because that corresponds with the zodiac sign Pisces. And if somebody has a number of planets in that 12th house, I think that could be a very strong indicator. I think Mercury in the 12th house could really be strong as far as this goes. Let's say if somebody has, let's say their third house cusp is a water sign, I think this could be at least a fairly strong indicator. If somebody were to have, let's say they had Pisces on the cusp of the third, and even with Capricorn ascendant, which would be the case in many cases. Now, Capricorn is not known to be a sign, Capricorn rising not known to be a sign that has really any strong proclivity toward being intuitive. But however, despite them being very pragmatic and practical and orthodox and kind of seen as believing thing, and I think having Pisces on the third could still give some intuitive capability, or another water sign for that matter. And also through transits and progressions, perhaps if the person, say, has no intuitive indicators in their natal chart, perhaps in transits and progressions are important to look at. If somebody has Neptune transiting the third, for example, or if their progressed Mercury, say, goes into Pisces, or progressed Neptune moves very slowly, so this wouldn't happen, very often, but if Neptune were to progress to a point where it was conjunct maybe the ascendant, that could be another indicator. If one of the faster moving planets, say if it's Mercury, the Sun, Moon, if that contacts the person's Neptune in a progressed chart, this could be something where maybe the person feels a little bit more prowess as far as intuition goes during that period than otherwise indicated in their natal chart. I think as far as synastry goes, and as far as relationship astrology, if somebody has, let's say, your significant other, romantic partner, what have you, if that person has one of their planets in your 12th house or more, this could be some kind of perhaps an intuitive connection. Maybe this person, maybe they feel a certain bond this way. Let's say if that person has maybe connections as far as your Neptune conjuncting their Mercury, or vice versa, that could be another example of perhaps an intuitive connection. Somebody's Uranus in your 12th house, or vice versa, that could be a very kind of very unusual kind of maybe intuitive connection that the two people may have. So those are some things I think to consider when you look at astrology and intuition. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for astrology and intuition. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.